Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
By the time other people join, let's do a brainstorming exercise. Tell me the definition of altruism. I think I've discussed it though, but again, just like right now, create a definition of 5-7 words and post it to the group. Okay, doing something without motive of profit, selflessness without anything in return, big heart and feeling for others, selfless concern for the well being of others. Selfless service, correct. So it means that doing something for others without expecting anything for yourself, right? Now give me examples, some Indian examples. Mother Teresa, Buddha, Mahavira, Mahatma, mother's love, very good. Vici, Azim Premji, okay, he donated a lot. Gandhiji for leprosy patients. Baba Amte also in that sense. No, Tata in what sense? Like Tata is a business person. India gave vaccines, very good. Soldiers, very good. Savitribai Phule. Helped Turkey in earthquake. Right. Tell me some examples from your life where you have been altruistic. Make some example. Doesn't have to be actually that you have done. Just make some example. Give tuition to the poor students. Very good. Helping my sister in her boards. Road crossing. Help to older elderly people. Helping a friend before exam. Saving love. Lots of birds and animals at my own cost. Blood donation. Very good. Very simple example, but every like it is a very believable example. Strive for the exam. Very good. Give seats in bus. Helped fellow aspirants with notes. Winter clothes to poor. Okay. Helped victim of people lost house in clash. That's not clear. Organ donation. Okay. Good Samaritan. NGO in slum areas. Okay. Now tell me, what's the benefit of altruism in the society? Should altruism exist in a society? If it if yes, then why it should? Promote shared humanity, brotherhood. Link it with a couple of, ethical premises. Fraternity, camaraderie, social harmony, inner consciousness, yes. Develops tolerance, very good. Give more diverse, other than the harmony and the brotherhood thing give more dimensions. Try to find out what stakeholders are in the situation for of altruism and how it helps in good sleep. So it also has personal benefit, right? Yourself are also a stakeholder, so you can talk about that also. Peace of mind, self satisfaction, yes. The pleasure of giving is greater than pleasure of taking, that you can talk about. Reduce isolation, social relations that you make with that person, or when you're trying to do something like that, you create a tribe. You should trust one homie in society. Develop my own conscience, very good. Develop positive attitude, increase EI. How so? You will have to explain it. Sustainability. All right. Any negative effects of altruism? Dhoka. What would you call it? Drains oneself out. It creates a moral hazard for the other person, right? Not only person. For example, India has helped Bhutan for quite a long time. So it has been seen the person themselves. Bhutan has blamed India for not letting itself develop. Makes a person dependent, develops callous attitude in other. No, no, not callous. You can create moral hazard. Yes, begging as a profession. Very good. People over expect individualism. Maldives case, not particularly, but Bhutan, you can say. Financial frauds, yes. In the name of altruism, a lot of scams are happening. You can also talk about subsidies. Subsidies is also a sort of, uh, altruistic side of government. Dependency. No, that's not a Shivam. People get jealous and try to harm. That's not misuse of NGO. Definitely, that's a good point. May neglect your own needs and desires. So a person does not have only the responsibility towards those who he is doing, um, altruism, but also towards his own family. The family gets neglected. The resources get distributed. For example, if India starts to take all the refugees in the country, what will happen to its own people? Right? This redistribution of resources. It can be at a family level or it can be at an India level. Freebies can harm the economy. Yes. All right. Chalo, we'll write our answer then. Did you understand? Like, this is how you have to prepare for a topic. Again, it was just a reminder for all of you and just a simple exercise. So, whenever you are doing, just do this exercise. Try to find out these examples, right? Get a couple of friends, maybe amongst yourself also. Create a group and maybe you can do this discussion, right? Chalo, let's start writing. Okay. Although open and transparent governance has gained ground, do you agree with the view that the merit in withholding some information from people? Justify your arguments with example. Start writing. Okay, the time is up. How many of you have completed the answer? How many of you are writing? Writing, brainstorming, thinking, whatever, scribbling. Okay. Chalo, let's discuss. So it says, are there any demerits of are there any merits of not disclosing the information? So in introduction, sunlight is the best in disinfectant. This is used in context of ensuring transparency to remove ills like corruption. However, RTI Section 8, Official Secret Act, etc., allows withholding of some information in case of public interest, national security, etc. Open and transparent governance, what does it mean? The RTI use, like how it has been how it has been gaining ground. RTI use and awareness, social audit as a tool of accountability, promotion of ULBs, PRIs, digitization, reducing human interface, public disclosure of information proactively, right? Its positive impacts have been seen as Himachal Pradesh has good culture of RTI, leading to less corruption cases, right? What are the arguments for withholding the information? Ensuring national security and public order. Example, Sharad Pawar withheld the correct information during 1993 Bombay blast to check riots. What was the information withheld? That the blasts have happened in front of Muslim as well as Hindu places, religious places, and not just uh, Hindu places to avoid the conflict, right? Yes, Rafale deal also. That's also for national security. Utilitarian view for larger good. Example, classified information like Takshant file for Lal Bahadur Shastri to be released when the time comes. Protect privacy of individual and prevent defamation. Protection of rights. Example, withholding location of Nirbhaya culprits to prevent mob lynching out of public anger. Yet, steps should be taken to disclose as much information as it is a trait of developed society. An aware citizenry is the first step towards public accountability and development of nation morally and ethically. Right? Just hold on a second. Right. So, any additional examples other than this? Tell me, Rafale deal, PM funds is being talked about negatively, so it can't be like justified. You can't argue for the merits of the case. You can, yeah, you can say instead that the acquisitions are there, that it is being wrongly kept out of RTI, and like file of Netaji, opacity being symbol of totalitarian regimes. Very good. Example, North Korea. Religious attack information. Sexuality of a person. No, like in transparency in administration that we're talking about. In health data, sensitive data, yes. Demonetization plan got leaked during Indira Gandhi's term. Keeping away information from wrong hands like terrorist militants, yes. Even for national security, Rafale deal is being preserved because the information should not get out to other countries to know that what our defense mechanism is. Responsibility of media, definitely. Media trials are like the worst. Security operations may get hampered because of clear outflow of information. 2611. Yes. Nuclear weapons disclosed openly via media help the terrorists to escape and do more harm than public. Yes. चलो ठीक है चलो let's move on to our case study. Right. So the next case study is this. It's a short case study. You might not be able to, generate content. I've put less number of pages for that, but try to fill in more content. Okay. Start right. Okay, the time is up. How many of you have completed the answer? How many of you are writing? Okay, tell me, how was it? Easy, tough? Content less? Content more? Less content, moderate, little tough? Yes. Okay. Just for perspective, this is a previous year question. So this is how UPSC will ask. Moderate, second part. Content generation. Yes. Okay. Less content. All right. Chalo. Let's go through the case study. Honesty and uprightness are a hallmark of civil servant. Civil servant possesses this quality are considered as the backbone of any organization. In line of duty, they take various decisions at sometimes become bona fide mistakes. As long as decisions are not taken intentionally and not for personal interest, the officer should not be held guilty. Such decision may at time lead to unforeseen adverse consequences in long term. In recent past, a few instances have surfaced where civil servants have been implicated for bona fide mistakes. They have often been prosecuted and even imprisoned. These instances have greatly rattled the moral fiber of civil servants. How does this trend affect the functioning of civil services? What measures can be taken to ensure that civil servants are not implicated for bona fide mistakes as the uh, mistakes on their part? Justify your answer. Right? Chalo, let's discuss. So, starting with a general introduction. Introduction can be a bigger one here because we have to fill in the pages. Civil services is known as the steel frame of the country because honestly and uprightly and neutrally, they carry out the functions of the government irrespective of who is in power. Just like normal human beings, civil servants are susceptible to make mistakes. You can also write to her, R is to human. You can use that quote here. If the intention is correct, it does not benefit them personally, it can't be termed as an offense. Wrongful prosecution of honest civil servants affects their morale as follows. How does it affect the morale? It is a demotivation towards action, leads to red tapeism and policy paralysis, distorts image in public, widens the trust gap between public and administration, detachment of civil servants from workplace, reduced determination going beyond duty for fulfilling public interest, makes them risk aversive, bind civil servant by letter of law rather than following the spirit, kills innovation, fear of constant monitoring, 3Cs, code CVC, CAG, hampers good governance as honest civil servant is penalized while dishonest is not. Civil servants become victim of vengeance to others at constant fear of being implicated. Vengeance of political parties or the colleague officers who want some vengeance out of it. When an honest civil servant is prosecuted, even if he is acquitted, he suffers hugely in his career and his reputation, and the process itself is the punishment. What are the measures required? Separation of bureaucracy from politics, prevent politicization of issue and independent decision making of civil services, legal immunity to civil servants for bona fide acts, impunity under Article 311 of the Constitution. After proper permission, any investigation can be carried out. That also with all the principles of natural justice. Ensuring disclosure of information under RTI for transparency and public participation, good governance, so that the civil servant himself will never be put in that place that he is the one who has held any information Awards and appreciation for boosting morale and motivation for innovation. Creating internal oversight mechanisms like audits for honest mistakes to be found out early and correcting them. 360 degree review, not only of performance but also of the character of a civil servant, right? Imparting training for capability building and integrity pact for values to ensure less mistakes. The need is to balance the deterrence and scope of mistakes. Since some discretion is inevitable in civil services, risk of a mistake is always there. Fast, reasonable, and fair investigative mechanisms are required for the same. Right? Is the answer clear? Does this make sense? Can writing stakeholder here feel forced? There are, you can write, definitely you can write. It is a question like to add all these elements here. Or you can use a lot other more explanations as to why such situation can arise. Can mission Karamyogi based on individual competence posting lead to less wrong decisions? Yes, we have to definitely talk about that. Training does improve the skill and reduces the mistakes. I've written merits and demerits for options. It might, like, see if, for example, if this is one of the case studies in the final exam, and not much case studies are asking for merits and demerits, then it might be a good approach. If other all the other case studies are asking options ka merit and demerit, and you write that merit demerit in this also, then it might be a problem. It might, like, it is not exactly a problem, but the presentation part, it might look like that. Like the other questions here also, when even when it was not asked, the same was being done. Getting my point, Shivam? It is per se not a bad thing, but depends upon how many merits and demerits are asked in other five questions. Bona fide mistakes means during the job when you are doing some work, so if some mistakes happen. Bona fide or demerit, manipulated for corruption. Scapegoat syndrome. Can civil services have the right to defend themselves in case of false? Of course, like civil servants are the most protected class. Like Article 311 of the Constitution protects them from any implication. First, there has to be a certain level of very senior official who has to approve of the investigation. Second, once the investigation, I read Article 311 too. Once the investigation is happening, the civil servant has to be given the information for what investigation is happening. He has to be given enough time for defending his own case. So it's not easy to implicate a civil servant, but yes, of course, the honest civil servants being implicated is a very big issue. I also couldn't think of stakeholders. You can also talk about Hota Commission when you're talking about independence of civil servants. You can talk about Civil Services Board, Hota Commission, Alag Commission. All those you can incorporate. I explained some more initially with examples. Very good, Akanksha. It will be good. Effective part of attitude gets changed due to such punishments. What, Akansha? Can you tell us some of the examples of bona fide mistakes? Archaic laws. Yes, trust erodes. Honest person getting prosecuted without mistake when person actually did mistake. Departmental inquiry, Ashok Khemka. Trolley dilemma. Yes. Undermining interest of few for larger public good. Random impact of one's action. Unforeseen domino effect. HV Gupta case was bona fide. Okay. Honest civil servant being transferred multiple times. Yes. So, okay. We'll close the session for today and we'll meet on Monday. Again, I am hoping that all through the weekend you will be going through a lot of questions. You will be maybe discussing and doing a lot of brainstorming, right? I have already asked them to make it available. I'll just check once again, right? Okay. Bye. See you guys.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.